This morning, dominating defense. The Packers take down Tom Brady and the Bucs. We'll hear from the quarterbacks on their reaction.
Consumer Reports with some advice on how to handle your medical debt. The steps you should be taking before you just pay up.
And those northwest winds are expected to increase today as the colder air backs in. I'll break down how long these winds will last and how strong they'll actually be.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
Thanks for waking up with us, everybody. I'm Leah Linscheid. Greg Barnhart is in this morning. He's talking about colder temperatures to start your Monday, a windy week ahead, and frost in the forecast. Greg, fall is here.
That is here, and actually October is almost here. So the end of this week will be October. So it's getting around that area. So you notice the winds outside 5 to 10 miles per hour right now. Not too bad, but you will notice the northwest winds pick up today because that's right now. Current gusts 16 already up in the Dells, so that's going to be, we're going to see gusts 25 to maybe 30 this afternoon. Overall temperatures 51 in Madison. Most areas have dropped into the 40s. Northwest wind behind this system, that will be the rule for the next probably 2 or 3 days, so that will keep the temperatures cool. And those are winds topping off this afternoon. We'll get better mixing. It'll be 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, holding about 60. So 3 things to know. Frost, yes, we could see some of that. The winds will be the main issue for the first couple days, but dry. And I'll explain all this a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. Oh, we were treated with Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady yesterday. The Packers trying to get some redemption against the Bucs down in Tampa Bay yesterday.
They squeaked by, that's for sure, just barely. Shane Hogan here to break it all down. Good morning, Shane.
Yeah, that's right, Leah. It wasn't the most resounding win, but a win indeed, and the Packers hold on to beat Brady and the Bucs after a late game rally that made things very close at the end. Now, coming into the week, the question was, who is Rodgers going to rely on in the passing game? Well, a few different guys were needed to step up. Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Romeo Doubs. They all played a big role in this one, and they got back all-pro left tackle David Bakhtiari. He made his return to the lineup, which was huge. Now, Packers strike on their first 2 possessions. Doubs and Lazard find the end zone. They lead 14-3 at half, but Tom Brady and company start coming back in the final seconds. How many times have you heard that one? But the defense comes up big, squashing the 2-point attempt that would have tied it. The Packers win this one 14-12.
One thing we always talk to our guys about is just how do you respond when adversity strikes? And I thought specifically our defense to, allow a touchdown there in the 2-minute drive and, just to kind of reset themselves and play that final play. I just loved how we responded.
If you would have said in the offseason we'd be 2-1 after 3 with these 2 tough road games, I'd say that's probably pretty good, considering that you would expect Minnesota and Tampa Bay to be, in the top 7 teams at the end of the season. So I feel good about that.
Well, Rodgers is feeling good. The Pack moved to 2-1 to take on the New England Patriots next Sunday. They're back home at Lambeau.
Really an impressive showing by the defense yesterday, Shane.
They came up big when they needed to, stop that 2-point conversion, and back in the win column. So feeling good on a Monday.
We'll take it. Shane Hogan, thank you very much. All right, looking ahead now for the 2-2 Badger football team. We certainly don't want to look back this morning. The Badgers turning their attention to the Fighting Illini, a game they dominated last year down in Champaign.
Badgers really never stood a chance against the 3rd-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes over the weekend. That opened up conference play for Bucky, a 51-21 loss. That was your final. Buckeyes scored right away, never stopped. They put 28 up before the Badgers even saw the end zone. In the eyes of Paul Christ, the team just didn't respond the way they should have.
You can't hide from what happened, right? And you got to own it, right? And then you also got to own your response, and that's, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't own that, and like I said, I feel good with this group about the response. Now we got to go do it.
So at what point did you turn off your TV Saturday night?
It was hard to watch.
First quarter and I was done.
Yeah, it was really hard to watch.
I turned on Jeffrey Dahmer over Wisconsin Badgers. I just couldn't do it anymore.
All right. So now the Badgers take on the Illini. This is their first 11 a.m. kick of the season. Saturday's game. In Champaign.
Looking
No, I'm
forward to
sorry.
that.
This is at Camp Brady.
Looking forward to that game, for sure. First, more traffic note for you. Nighttime closures of part of the interstate in Columbia County start this evening. Take a look. The I-39 and Highway 78 interchange outside Portage. That's going to be closed for the next 3 days from 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. Crews are fixing cracks on the way to Cascade Mountain ahead of the skiing season. Detours are posted along Highway 33 and I-90-94 right there on your screen for you. All right, it is 6:05 now. More than 40 million people have unpaid medical bills that are sent to collections. Almost half of those bills, though, contain at least one error. Before you make any payments, Consumer Reports has some advice on how to fight back against medical debt. Earlier this summer, Lauren McNeil got a curious bill from a collection agency saying she owed $71 to an urgent care center she never visited.
I believe that they just made a mistake, but I had never been to that urgent care.
Lauren reached out to Consumer Reports investigative reporter Lisa Gill for help.
Lauren's case is a textbook example of why you should almost always push pause when contacted by a debt collector about a medical bill.
Lisa was very helpful. We would, call some of the places together, and she would help me kind of navigate the process.
If you're contacted by a debt collector for a medical bill you believe to be wrong, never pay it right away. Instead, CR says, take these steps. Gather as much info as you can, including the name of the collection agency, the person you're speaking with, their phone number, address, email, and as much information about the bill as possible.
There are a lot of scams out there, so doing this can deter any phony debt collector.
Next, ask the debt collector to send verification of the debt. You can expect to receive information on the debt in the mail within about 5 days after your request. If the verification letter shows an error, file a dispute in writing by either email or certified letter within 30 days, or else the collection agency will assume the debt is valid.
We had Lauren send a certified letter to the debt collector with all the documentation showing that she did not actually owe the bill. She still hasn't heard back, so she is not obligated to pay off any of the debt.
As I told my son this whole story, and he said, all of this for $71? And I said, yes, but you can imagine if it was thousands of dollars.
That was this week's Consumer Reports. All right, we are taking a live look at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida this morning. Now, I am not being dramatic, but NASA's about to test something that could one day save the world. How you can watch.
Great tease there.
And we are kicking off spooky season in the 608 this morning. We're live at Schuster's Farm in Deerfield with all the fun. Stick around. I might be scared after the break. You won't want to miss it.
With Pick and Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. Pick and Save Fresh Perks. All you do is win big, big savings. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
This is the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder and Rogue. With a range of drive modes, you can take a Sunday stroll in the least basic of places.
Get the 2022 Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy.
It changes your entire world. I know because I was a victim myself. So to think there are people like Senator Ron Johnson in Washington who'd make it harder. Ron Johnson supported the Supreme Court's decision outlawing abortion in Wisconsin, even for victims of rape and incest, allowing doctors and nurses to be prosecuted. When I think about other victims and what they're going to have to go through because of Ron Johnson, he doesn't share our values. S&P is responsible for the content of this ad.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
I'm Bob Adcock with Circle A Land and Livestock, and this is my John Deere. We've been with Sloan Implement since my father started farming, my grandfather started farming. They are a family business that's been around for generations, and that's very important to us. The personnel, the customer service that they provide, it's maybe not, you could say Sloan's first, but they put customers first. and that's why I think Sloan's first.
I worked on the force for 30 years. I've seen plenty of politicians, but Mandela, he's the real deal. Mandela doesn't want to defund the police. He's very supportive of law enforcement, and I know his objective is to make every community in the state of Wisconsin better. I trust him to get the resources that we need to keep people safe and to reduce crime in the first place. As a retired cop, I want someone like Mandela. Mandela is the right guy for the job.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
This is the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder and Rogue. With a range of drive modes, you can take a Sunday stroll in the least basic of places.
Get the 2022 Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you get in our stores. So start your cart today. Wherever. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. There's a family favorite for the fall season in the 608 that Josh Breider is highlighting this morning.
Josh Breider is live in Deerfield at Schuster's Farm. He is checking out some of the spooky things they've got to offer. They're trying to scare the daylights out of Josh Breider this morning. Josh, how you faring?
Oh my gosh, I'm like shaking yet. I was just telling them sometimes even when you know something's gonna happen, that makes it worse. So even though I know that there are characters out in the woods, I'm still like gonna be scared this morning. That's just the way it's gonna be. But hey, we're talking about all of that fall fun. Spooky season about to be kicking off here this weekend here at Schuster's. Haunted Forest gonna be opening up Friday night. Don Schuster himself is up early with us. Don, good morning to you.
Well, good morning.
You guys are excited. You guys are ready for this every single year. And I mean, this takes a whole year to really prepare for.
Oh, it does. It takes a whole year. And you say we're ready? Not yet. By Friday we'll be ready. But no, there's some paint that's still wet.
You know, it's kind of cool though because you guys are very unique because we are literally out in the middle of the woods, way off of the highway. You know, explain the scene where we're at.
It's a half mile away from the farm. So we have these big wagons that can haul 100 people, and we take you off on a fast ride down to the woods, and you city people, you're used to street lights. So when you get down here, there's no street lights. So we dump you off, and it's dark, and you got a little light that takes you to the line, and you get into the queue line, and you've probably been scared 10 or 15 times by the time you get to the line, and then you finally get into the haunted forest.
You know, it's so cool because you talk about all that support that it takes. You have, what, 62 people that are going to be out here in the forest helping you guys this year.
That is correct. That's just the actors. Then there's the support staff. There's another 6 that, we have 2 of us that are running around all night just fixing stuff to make sure things work and keep each scene live and fresh, and it takes a lot of work to put this thing on. It's not for the faint at heart, as I could use that phrase.
Yeah, you guys have been doing this for so many years. What keeps you guys going?
The people that work here. I mean, the kids and the adults that we have that are part of this, they're so passionate about this. When we started this, it was looking for ways to make some money for the farm, and I really wasn't that big into Halloween, and it's really grown on me. I mean, scaring the hell out of people is just so much fun.
Of course it is, especially when it's on live TV too, right?
Sure, yeah. You TV people are really easy to scare.
We really are. Yeah. And I was like looking back there, I'm like, I can see a couple of people hovering behind me, and it's like I've got that little side eye going already this morning. So we're having so much fun out here.
Good. I'm glad you're having a good time.
All right, so Friday night's the first night out here.
For Friday night, and every Friday and Saturday through October, and the last Thursday of October.
All right, so plenty of time to come out and have some fun.
Yes, get your tickets early. We sell
out. Don, thank you so much. So, guys, again, if you'd like to learn more, you can go up to channel3000.com. Again, this Friday night. It's going to be their first night. Oh, my gosh. They would pull the clown out, you guys. That's my worst fear, the clowns out here. Got a couple other people. Okay, I need to just take a deep breath here for a second.
Oh, so you city boys scare so easy.
Sanford and Leah Lynchide.
Look at him.
What?
Look at him.
What scares you guys the most? There's a question for you. Clowns are definitely my number one, like by far.
Leah, what about you?
I have nightmares of my husband taking all the windows out of our house.
All your antique windows that you've collected over the years.
That really scares me.
Yeah. For me, it's the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. Those are creepy. Look at that.
Oh, my
face
gosh.
behind
I can see
Josh.
that, too.
Goodness.
Josh, take a quick peek around your shoulder.
I'm trying not to.
That is terrifying.
All right, Josh Bryder live at Schuster's Farm this morning. Talk to you here in about a half hour, Josh. Don't forget to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. Reach out on social media or email him for a chance to be featured.
Okay, it is 6:15 now. Happening tonight, you have a chance to watch a real-life Armageddon in the sky, kind of.
So listen to this. NASA's going to try and slam a spaceship into an asteroid nearly 7 million miles away to change its course.
Calling Bruce Willis.
Exactly, right? NASA's DART spacecraft will be flying 14,000 miles an hour when it slams into Dimorphos, a small moon orbiting the asteroid Didymos. The impact will not destroy Dimorphos, but rather NASA just aims to nudge it, give it a little nudge. Give it a little nudge and take it off course by as much as 10 minutes. NASA says the DART mission is just the first in a series of experiments that'll better prepare mankind to save the world from unknown threats.
There are thousands of bodies in the solar system, and they haven't spotted all of them. The odds of an asteroid hitting the Earth with devastating impact, they're remote, but the consequences are extreme.
During flight, the DART spacecraft will take a picture a second when it is 1,000 miles from striking the asteroid, and then send those images back to Earth. You can also live stream the whole thing. NASA television will broadcast that mission starting tonight at 6 p.m. DART is set to crash at 8:14 our time.
We should mention that the first 2 hours of that live stream are going to be completely dark. So we would suggest tuning in a little bit later. The live stream is going to be black as this thing makes its way to the asteroid, and then you should be able to see light as it hits, as there's impact.
We'll show you the pictures tomorrow morning.
Yeah, just tune into News 3 Now this morning. We'll give you all you need to know. All right, back down to earth now. Some out-of-this-world photos coming in from overnight of last night's stormy weather.
Weren't these something? Holy cow.
Look at this one of the Capitol right there. So these are all from viewers over the Madison area. Some spots saw hail, others a thunderstorm warning. Wrapping up with this beautiful evening for a sunset. Now, just to our east in Milwaukee, a couple dozen folks without power this morning. A lot of trees down. No major damage reported there. Here in Madison, Greg, we just saw beautiful sunrises, or sunsets rather, after a ton of wind. It was really pretty spooky outside of our house last night.
Yeah, a lot of that wind was probably just from outflow from thunderstorms that are coming. That you can look on radar and satellite. This is water vapor, and actually does show a good job of some of these waves or disturbances that do tend to flow down and provide some lift. And one of those is the one that kind of caused the accident. You can see as we go back, here it comes right there, and it's just a matter of sweeping down and timing, getting that good heating of the day, and that's all the wind reports that they had. So mainly a wind thing, and then actually it creates outflow, which goes away from a thunderstorm, so you don't have to be near the thunderstorm to get the gusty winds sometimes. Usually not damaging winds, but still gusty winds. So overall, we're still looking at that system's pushed east. We're getting in a northwest flow right now. That's going to be the thing that we're going to deal with for probably a couple days. A little system here that could be coming down for Tuesday, but overall, windy, cool conditions really as we look at this whole picture. As you zoom in, still cloud covered up to the north. We got some high cirrus clouds to the west, but overall, that's what we'll see. Futurecast shows the cloud cover increasing this afternoon. We're going to see this thing kind of wrap around by Tuesday, so we'll have another little weak wave come down, but overall, cloud cover, cool temperatures, and the winds will continue through Tuesday. Won't see much change with that. As we look at temperatures right now today, getting up to the upper 50s to near 60 in many of the areas, maybe mid 50s. Once again, this shower should stay to the north. We're not going to see too much on that, but temperatures tomorrow will actually be cooler. Winds today, we're definitely going to see winds, 20 to 30 knot gusts potentially. That'll be the story through today and tomorrow. And then if you look at the frost potential, that comes in Wednesday, Thursday. The winds lighten up, so it allows our temperatures to get down to the mid-30s, maybe low 30s in certain areas. And it could be the first frost for many of the areas, and then we might warm back up. But right now, it does look dry through next weekend. I know people have been complaining about the weekends being wet. Well, this does look dry at the time right now.
All right. Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. 6:18 now. Shortage of aluminum cans and carbon dioxide could be the next supply chain issue, and it could lead to a shortage of beer. Brewers also pointing to a rise of prices of malted barley and hops, as well as transportation that impact their bottom line. Beer prices are up 5% so far this year, which is not as high as food costs at 11%. But the Brewers Association, say that the trends are against them, and some breweries could even be forced to close. Industry experts aren't sure that that will result in shortages necessarily, but the variety and selection could definitely be more limited. Around the state this morning, millions of people grew up watching saber fights and sci-fi movies.
So now the opportunity to wield one is a possibility in Wausau. Nolan Buhlman explains.
When you think of Star Wars, it's hard to not imagine the epic lightsaber fights we've seen on the big screen. But thanks to Bladetoberfest, it gives people a unique opportunity to fight with lightsabers in real life.
Well, I just love to fight. I mean, as bad as that sounds, but I love to fight. I love the energy in combat and things like that.
Similar to fencing, Bladetoberfest is a lightsaber combat fighting tournament with 30 to 50 participants squaring off against one another. This is the second year the tournament has been in Wausau, as it's also taken place in Minnesota, Florida, and has a national tournament in Las Vegas. In order to excel as a fighter, it takes a great deal of grit and drive.
Energy, courage, and just willingness to do it.
Although it takes certain traits to become a good fighter, anyone is able to participate.
People come into these kind of off the street, they see what's happening, and they're like, wow, this looks fun, I could do this, and I want to do it.
Regardless of skill level, the tournament's primary goal is to unite fans together, better one another, and practice their passions.
A great way to live out your nerd fantasies of sword fighting, lightsabers, and it's kind of your competitive side too if you want to take it that way, but you really don't have to. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of good people.
So Bladetoberfest is put on by the Saber Legion. If you'd like to learn more information and find a charter club near you, you can visit saberlegion.org.
Let me hear your lightsaber sound effects.
I did a lot of Star Wars playing because of
Is it a
Leia,
cat? Is it a
Princess
cat
Leia.
wielding this lightsaber?
That was pretty good. What's yours? That's a dump truck.
Okay.
Sir.
All right. We'll
Dumpster
work
fire
on it.
over there. Let's talk later.
Whatever makes you feel better.
6:21. Coming up in our next half hour, a push to make sure every family can afford the baby supplies they need this fall with a new space for an area diaper bank.
Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Help us collect kids' winter coats during Coats for Kids.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
This fall into comfort with an affordable living room from Bob's Discount Furniture, like my Avenger Power Collection. Get the Power Reclining Sofa or the Power Reclining Console Love Seat in black or gray for my everyday low price of $9.99, with many financing options available. You'll love the convenient USB ports, cup holders, and storage space galore. With savings this great, the whole family can relax at the touch of a button. Bob's Discount Furniture. Fall into comfort. Ooh, nice.
Get Bob's Discount! At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer and get 0% financing for 66 months.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
Hello there, fellow students.
I'm going to earn 3% on dining, including takeout with Chase Freedom Unlimited. That's a lot of cash back. Are you going to stop me? Oh, I'm almost there. Too late. Boom. Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited with no annual fee. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
Welcome back, 6:25. Let's take a look at Linda's morning. Just a cotton candy sky, gorgeous picture. We were thinking this was after a storm, right, Greg?
It could be. It kind of looks like that, kind of just a debris type. It looks not real well-formed cloud, so it could be. A lot of times that happens when you get thunderstorms collapse, and then sunset provides a nice opportunity to just get some good cloud cover there, too, with the light coming out of it.
Now, we tend to say that Wisconsin sunrises and sunsets are beautiful. Chris Stanford likes to remind us.
Here's the thing.
Here it goes.
Sunrises and sunsets are beautiful everywhere.
I mean,
in some places more so than others. We're kind of biased towards the Wisconsin sunrises and sunsets. We think they are, without a doubt, stunning. Other places in the country also have stunning sunsets and sunrises.
I maintain you have to consider the landscape. I mean, look at those beautiful trees in this one. We had another one over Lake Monona that was pretty. We've got the Capitol skyline.
And there we go. We blew all the time for the bus stop forecast.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll have that for you coming up right after this, folks. Don't go anywhere.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Coming?
The Volkswagen Taos. German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the 2022 Taos, starting at $23,495. Limited inventory available.
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Darrell Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our communities safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here at Precision, we are veteran-owned, and we take pride in servicing not only our community, but serving our country as well. No job is too big and no job is too small. Here at Precision, we'll fix them all.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Keep bragging about your buck after the hunt with wild game processing from Johnson's Sausage Shop in Ryle, Wisconsin. Friends enjoy a hunting story more over a jalapeno cheddar stick. Johnson's Sausage Shop accepts wild game 7 days a week. First bucks in are the first brats out.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Okay, let's start with some clouds, some mountains over there, and finally a river. Hey, Dad, look.
Looks like the perfect spot.
American Family Insurance is here to protect your family on the road with the Travel Peace of Mind package. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. It's a lovely day to...
Cars built with safety in mind, even for those guys. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the spacious 2022 Atlas. Limited inventory available.
This morning, Campaign 2022 is ramping up. What the major candidates are saying to try and win your vote.
State of emergency, the latest storm to slam the Caribbean starting today. Before you plan your fall vacation to Florida, which parts will be most impacted?
And definitely a little cooler than out there this morning, and I'll say how long these cool conditions will last and what might eventually lead to a frost this week.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Sanford. Boy, the sun coming up later and later this time of year. The wind and the chilly temperatures, Greg, those are the storylines today.
It is, and it is almost October.
Yeah, I know.
Next week is October.
Just a few days left of September.
And then we got like maybe a month left before daylight savings time, I think.
Oh,
no
you're
way.
kidding.
Yeah, it's coming.
Ooh, that crept up fast.
Yeah, it's creeping up fast. So overall, you look at the temperatures right now, we're looking at a little cooler than we were yesterday. Around 50 in Madison right now. Most of the other areas have dropped to the mid-40s, upper 40s. So it is cooler than we saw yesterday. But still, this is not quite far from average, so we should see right now this time of year. So we zoom into the Dane County area right now. We're looking at 48 at Perry, 51 is still at the airport, and 48 at Cross Plains. Maybe a degree drop further here in another hour before we start coming back up. The winds you'll see definitely 5 to 10 miles per hour right now. That'll definitely increase as we get towards the afternoon time frame, once we get more heating. We're only going to, right now, northwest winds at 10, so you will feel that outside, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Bus stop, that's probably the big story today, is it's going to be the cool temps, but the winds more or less this afternoon when the bus comes to pick people up in the afternoon, that's when the winds will be there. Otherwise, temperatures getting up to the mid-50s, and then the things to know is, like I said, the frost potential, and we'll fill you in all these details a little bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg Barnhart in for Chris Reese this morning. Thanks a lot, Greg. 6:31 now. We are learning a lot more about the welfare scandal surrounding former Packer quarterback Brett Farv.
New information in this ongoing saga. Shane Hogan is with us this morning with what we know. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Leah. Yeah, there's new evidence this morning of Farv trying to get a second sports facility to be built with Mississippi welfare money. It's a developing story that has Farv in the middle of what they're calling the state's largest ever public corruption case. This after his involvement with a volleyball court built at his alma mater, Southern Mississippi University. Now, these new text messages that include exchanges between Farv and former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant were filed in court documents Friday by Bryant's lawyers. They seek to show the governor was willing to help Farv raise private money for the volleyball facility in 2017 and was unaware for more than 2 years that welfare money was going into the project. A few other details we know right now. Farv's request for money for that football stadium went nowhere after he was trying to get high-profile recruits to his alma mater. The state has filed a civil lawsuit against Farv and others to recover more than $20 million in misspent welfare money. And important to note, Farv and former Governor Phil Bryant are not facing criminal charges at this time, but a former director of the Mississippi Department of Human Services pleaded guilty last Thursday to federal and state charges for his role in this scandal. Now, a state auditor says $77 million in funds were intended for the welfare program, and according to investigators, more than $4 million was used to build the Farv-backed volleyball facility where his daughter played the sport at the same time. So a developing situation here for Brett Favre, but as we learn more, we'll continue to let you know here on News 3 Now.
$20 million total in misspent money.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Quite a headline. Shane Hogan, thank you very much.
1 in 3 families struggle to afford adequate amounts of diapers for their kids.
A local nonprofit is making strides in changing those numbers here in Madison with a major new milestone. Megan Solenberger started a diaper fundraiser 4 years ago for Hurricane Harvey victims. Well, that's how the Village Diaper Bank was born. The organization now celebrating a brand new facility that Megan says will grow their operations exponentially. That's important because some members of our community are spending up to 14% of their income just on diapers.
Every month, we want to make sure that those dollars going back into someone's pocket are available for them to use for other essentials that they might be, having to make tough decisions about. Sometimes it's you don't pay your light bill. Sometimes it's you might not make a full car payment. Or sometimes it's you can't afford the diapers for your child to be able to do the alternative.
A new supplier will also allow the group to purchase bulk diapers for 1/3 of the price. That, plus the extra space, is going to help them give away an extra 120,000 diapers a month.
To campaign 2022 now, with 6 weeks to go before the election, candidates are focused on southeast Wisconsin. Democrats meeting in Milwaukee at the Washington Park Senior Center. Meanwhile, Tim Michels and Ron Johnson met with voters at the Wisconsin 1st District Republican Fall Fest. Governor Evers says that he hopes his support of a woman's right to choose will sway undecided voters. Michels not bringing up his stance on abortion. Rather, he's campaigning pretty heavily on crime.
Education, infrastructure, fixing the roads, those type of things that supersede Democratic and Republican world.
He made a pledge that he was going to cut in half the prison population. Unfortunately, he's well on his way to doing it. He has released 900 convicted felons.
On the U.S. Senate race side, both Mandela Barnes and Senator Ron Johnson defending themselves against accusations. Barnes says that his stance on cash bail is being misinterpreted in ads from Ron Johnson. In Racine County, Johnson told voters that the accusations that he's trying to defund Social Security are false.
Tropical storm Ian is now Hurricane Ian. It's officially a Category 1 with sustained winds over 74 miles an hour. You're taking a look at the projected storm path right over the Florida Panhandle. Maybe you were hoping to head there this fall. I know our Josh Breiter is. Going to want to keep an eye on this damage here. The storm is likely to intensify by Tuesday, possibly into a Category 4. That would mean winds over 130 miles an hour. A state of emergency is already in effect throughout Florida. The governor warning widespread flooding is possible, even if the center of the storm remains offshore.
Don't think that if you're not in that eye, that somehow you don't have to make preparations.
President Biden also declaring an emergency there. He's authorizing the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA to help coordinate disaster relief.
Meantime, hundreds of thousands of people along Canada's Atlantic coast have no electricity this morning. It comes after a hit from former Hurricane Fiona. The storm had devastated Puerto Rico a week ago and hit Nova Scotia as a post-tropical cyclone Saturday. Despite the intensity of the storm, there were no serious injuries or deaths. Government officials warning, though, it could take weeks before essential services are restored.
All right, to Milwaukee now. In just 5 days, the Bucks preseason opens. In 25, the regular season will get going for Giannis and company. Giannis is back from his summer of Eurobasket. He talked at Media Days this weekend, and he was all smiles. Maybe because he got to check out teammate Marjan Beauchamp's new puppy. Take a look at that little guy.
Aww.
Not quite Bascom, but close.
But what dog is?
Exactly. The Greek Freak says he and the team already have another championship run on their minds.
Kind of got jealous of Golden State, seeing them in the parade and in the SPs, and just like, that feeling now. You know what is getting stripped away from you. So hopefully God can bless us to win another one. But if not, that's the plan. But I'm going to try to do the right thing, work on my body, work with my team, and try to win games.
Saturday's game at Fiserv is against the Memphis Grizzlies.
As violence across Ukraine keeps the country unsafe, a local event is supporting refugees. The Stoughton Resettlement Assistance Program has helped people like the Sokor family bring pieces of their home to Wisconsin. The past couple of days have been called Ukrainian Weekend there. It was a celebration of what the Sokor family knows well. The co-director of the nonprofit tells News 3 Now that donating to organizations like theirs is the best way to help families trying to escape the violence overseas.
All right, it's 6:38 now. It's a cool fall morning out there. Greg has cooler temperatures in his forecast, too. He's talking about when we could wake up to frost this week.
And we're pumpkin up the jam in the 608 this morning, live from Schuster's Farm. We're ready with the pumpkin cannon. We've got Don Schuster ready to shoot some pumpkins for us right after the break here, guys. Stick around on a Monday morning.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, 6-pack bottles of Coke products, only $1.48, and avocados, only 39 cents each. Monday only, and visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Darrell Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our communities safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Protecting your cargo is a must, because most times, it's more than just cargo. It's the memories, friendships, and adventures that are built with it. The late nights and early mornings. The races and renovations. From hitches to ratchet straps and everything in between, we've got what you need to get your cargo there safely. Secure your passion with 11% off Tow Smart, Smart Straps, and Cargo Smart products at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee this Monday. Simply Done bath tissue or paper towels, only $2.99. And Pringles, only 99 cents. Monday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Tonight on WISC-TV, it's a night of legendary laughs on The Neighborhood and Bob Hart's Abishola, followed by new episodes of NCIS and NCIS Hawaii. Then it's News 3 Now at 10. As political ads bombard you with campaign promises and claims to capture your vote, News 3 Now gives you a reality check, clarifying the candidates' messages and finding the facts to help you make informed choices. Reality Check, Wednesdays on News 3 Now at 6. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608 this morning, we're checking out a local favorite for a lot of families. That is gearing up for some fall family fun.
Oh, yeah. Josh Breider live at Schuster's Farm this morning. He's shooting pumpkins out of a cannon. What a party.
Don Schuster standing by with the pumpkin cannon. We are pumpkin up the jam. That is a photojournalist Mark Schilling favorite there this morning. He gave me that to say. We're having a lot of fun here in the 608 because, you know, fall season's in full swing. I know a lot of folks have already been out, and there's still plenty of time to get out here to Schuster's Farm, especially Teresa Schuster is with us this morning. Teresa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh.
So you guys are excited because, I mean, this is one of your, obviously, favorite seasons to bring all the families out here to the farm.
Absolutely. Lots of fun to do.
You know, what are some of the things that folks can look forward to? Obviously, we've got the beautiful pumpkins behind us.
Right, we do. And then we also have our bakery. And our daughter is back on the farm, and she loves to bake. So we have s'mores brownies and caramel apples and cider donuts and pumpkin cake. So lots of fresh things that we make here on the farm.
You know, it's that time of the year that we're looking for that comfort food, especially on a chilly morning like this one. You know, you are all about really family traditions here at Schuster's.
We are. And what's so fun, too, is because we've been doing this for 29 years now. Now we have, like, second generation coming to work and those applications that the kids say, well, I wanted to work here all my life. That's just awesome. It's like the whole family comes.
It's so cool to see, you know, obviously we were out in the haunted forest a little earlier and just the characters, and you can just see the excitement. Like, this isn't really work, it's fun for a lot of folks.
That's right. That's what we go for, because we tell them that if we're having fun, then everybody else that's coming is having fun. So that's the goal. And we've added new things this year. So we have a 27-foot spider pyramid to climb on and a big tire swing and added to the obstacle course. So there's fun for all ages.
Wonderful. Well, Teresa, thank you so much. Okay, it's the moment we've been waiting for. Don Schuster standing by. We've got the cannon here. You know, what all goes into pulling this off right here?
Well, you have to build one first. You can't get them at the store. So, yeah, we built that about 15 years ago, and it's a big hit. You know, besides throwing pumpkins, we throw candy out of it. And Chef John from Little John's, he just every time, you got the candy cannon? Got the candy cannon? So it's a 500-gallon tank, and most people think we're going to put 2,000 pounds of air in it. Only 30 pounds of air. Launch this pumpkin a half a mile.
All right, let's see it, Don.
All right, you ready?
Let's see it. Here we go, guys. Oh, I'll pull the trigger. You trust me? Pull the trigger here, huh? A half mile here, guys. So
pull that back.
Pull this back. All right, here we go in 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah.
Pumpkin up the jam, guys. Look at that.
How many times are you gonna say
Doesn't
that?
get any better than the 608.
I will say.
I'm going to say it like 17 more times today, guys. So
It doesn't matter how old you are. Blowing up a pumpkin out of a cannon is so cool.
Brings out the little kid in all of us.
That was so much fun. I am like a kid in a candy store right now. I want to do it again.
Put some candy in that puppy. Heck yeah.
That's cool. All right, Josh Bryder live at Schuster's Farm this morning. Launching some pumpkins.
We'd love to see it. Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured. If that doesn't get you out to Schuster's Farm, what will?
Yeah, and it's feeling like fall.
It is.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Mother Nature is reminding us that October is just a few days away. Greg Barnhart in this morning with your certified most accurate forecast, tracking those winds from the north. Hey there, Greg.
Hey, yeah, and exactly, you're right. This week's going to be 1st of October, so September's already kind of flew by. But yeah, the winds pretty much out of the north. That system that's continuing to push east slowly. This is a 24-hour loop that you can kind of see. You actually do catch that little wave that produces severe thunderstorms right there as it races across. Otherwise, the winds aloft are strong out of the northwest, and at the surface, they also are at the same direction. So that's what we're going to see. That cold air is pushed all the way down to the south. The front is well to the south of us right now, so it's definitely a nice, cold, fall-like air mass that's going to be in place. Cloud cover will be some of the issue we'll deal with today, but overall the wind will continue. As you see future track here all the way through Tuesday, we have another thing rotating around that could dive south. We'll bring a little bit more cloud cover tomorrow, but once again, we'll just be dealing with winds and cooler temperatures continuing as we go through Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we should clear out, dry out. Winds will start lightening up, and that sets the stage then for Wednesday night, or Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, which leads to that frost potential. So today, 50 degrees. We'll get up to around 60 for most areas. Winds 15 to 25. You could see a gust a little bit higher during the afternoon hours. They'll die down to tonight. And then overall tonight, we'll drop even a few more degrees. So more areas will be in the low to mid 40s than they were this morning. A few clouds. And then tomorrow, once again, the cloud cover comes in, but our temperatures will drop another 3 to 4 degrees. So more mid 50s will be the rule tomorrow than today, where we're seeing more 60-degree marks. And then as we go towards Wednesday, you're going to see that too. The pattern change we've seen, we're still stuck in that. The ridge out west is going to build the heat up out west, but we're not going to quite see much of that because it's just not going to be able to make its way through here. So that's as you see the winds today, tomorrow, then the frost potential as we get to the mid 30s, maybe low 30s in certain areas. And then we kind of slowly climb out of this, but it's going to be a slow climb to get back to where we should be, which is about 67, 68 degrees. Maybe by this weekend we might reach that area.
Hoping that weather stays nice for the weekend. We could use it.
It looks dry right now. So yeah, I know the last 8 weeks everyone has said there's been some rain, but at least it hasn't been a total washout either, so that's been good.
Greg Barnhart with the silver lining and a beautiful forecast ahead. Thank you, sir. Just about 6:47 on your Monday. Coming up in the morning sprint, another speed limit getting the slice in Madison today, where you're going to want to slow down on your morning commute.
And we want to say happy birthday to Riker and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything, like your future in-laws?
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kitties like her.
Can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
The garage door is America's new front door, so why not look at it in a whole new way? Let Precision's experienced designers come to you. Let us show you the difference a new Precision garage door can make.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Get up and go! You heard the jingle man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go!
Keep bragging about your buck after the hunt with wild game processing from Johnson's Sausage Shop in Ryle, Wisconsin. Friends enjoy a hunting story more over a jalapeno cheddar stick. Johnson's Sausage Shop accepts wild game 7 days a week. First bucks in are the first brats out.
Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
Breaking news in the last hour out of Russia. The number of those killed in a school shooting now up to 13, including 7 children. At least 20 others are injured, most of them students. Local police say a gunman got into a school in the central part of the country, killing a guard and several kids. The suspect then shot himself. Right now, the school is evacuated, the area fenced off. There is no information yet on a possible motive.
Happening today, a new round of Vision Zero speed reductions. These reductions are going to affect Portage Road between East Wash and Churchill Heights Park. Got a nice handy map for you on the screen. Speeds are going to go from 30 to 25. City officials said they plan to install some digital signs with updated permanent signs to remind drivers of the new speed limits.
New information this hour. Gas Buddy is reporting this morning. You should expect a notable jump in prices at the pump over the next 72 hours. It's happening across the Midwest. Prices could go back over $4 a gallon, at least temporarily, in Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana. You're taking a look at what you're paying this morning across the state. The average still under $4 here in Dane County. You'll pay about $3.82 for a gallon of regular. A fire on Madison's north side is under investigation this morning. Take a look at the damage it caused. A number of districts had to respond to a commercial building on Saturday. This happened on Dovetail Drive, just south of County Highway CV near the airport. Nobody was hurt, luckily, but birds kept inside the building died in the fire. Firefighters tell us the building suffered no structural damage, but everything inside was destroyed to the tune of at least $100,000 in damage.
After back-to-back sweeps at home, Badger volleyball hitting the road for a top 10 border battle with Minnesota. Close rankings making it a tough one here. Wisconsin fighting back when Kelly Sheffield challenged a call, getting a potential Minnesota match point reversed. It would not be enough, though, ultimately. The Gophers swept the Badgers. Wisconsin now gets ready to host number 9 Penn State on Friday.
New numbers out of Wisconsin's college classrooms. More students are enrolled in the UW system this year than in the past 3. Preliminary data of the 13 UW system schools, though, shows only 3 schools added students this year compared to last. It's UW Madison, UW Green Bay, and Superior. Most other schools saw enrollment drop at least 3%, some as high as 6%.
Brewers trying to sweep the Reds as a tight playoff race heats up. Early on, Hunter Renfroe puts the Brewers on the board. And then we head to, I believe, the 9th Here is, the Reds, Spencer Steer hitting the go-ahead home run there to give the Reds a 2-1 win. They now return home, the Brewers do, for a 2-game set with the Cardinals. 9 games to go in the regular season, and the Brewers are just 1.5 back from that wild card spot.
Rihanna is this year's Super Bowl halftime headliner. Both the entertainer and the NFL tweeting a photo Sunday of the singer's hand holding a football. The NFL then confirmed the news in a follow-up statement, calling Rihanna a once-in-a-generation artist. Super Bowl 57 scheduled for February 12th in Glendale, Arizona.
Right now, all 67 counties in Florida are under a state of emergency. Residents there are preparing for Hurricane Ian. The storm is churning in the Caribbean, and forecasters expect it will hit western Cuba today, then strike the U.S. Somewhere between Tampa Bay and the Florida Panhandle. Officials say just about all of Florida will be impacted by high winds and the storm surge.
Vice President Kamala Harris is traveling to Tokyo this morning to attend a memorial service for former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Abe was shot and killed while delivering a campaign speech in July. Harris is leading a delegation of current and former U.S. officials to the funeral and plans to spend 3 nights in Tokyo. Demonstrations and protests are expected there.
The British pound tumbling to a record low this morning. It's on fears that the government's new economic plan could push finances to the limit. The pound dropped more than 4% against the U.S. dollar as trading opened up in Asia and Australia. The former record low was 37 years old.
Families are expected to pay an average of 17% more for home heating this season compared to last winter. Those who heat with natural gas are facing the highest increase of more than 34%. The Biden administration now asking Congress for more funding to help low-income families stay warm.
Yeah, and we're looking at the bus forecast right now. It's a little chilly there, but the breeze you'll feel right now, but the winds definitely will pick up towards this afternoon, but there'll be a different type of temperature tomorrow. Overall, we're looking at planning today. Winds going to be the big story. We'll get up to 60 degrees, but 15-mile-per-hour winds. That'll be the thing to deal with. And then, obviously, as we get to the extended, we're looking at temperatures getting down to maybe freezing by Wednesday and Thursday morning.
Greg, thank you very much. Parents, we want to let you know about some breaking news just into the newsroom out of Oregon. Prairie View Elementary there is closed for a water main break. Classes canceled this morning. You can head on over to channel3000.com to stay tuned for updates to that story.
Another news update coming up here in about a half an hour.